Are you ready to learn some advanced collocations? Those word combinations that elevate your English from ordinary to fluent. Stick around to enrich your vocabulary. Hello, I'm Mina. Thank you very much for showing up here. Let's explore today's set of collocations together, starting with make an impression. Make an impression. Make an impression. To create a memorable effect on someone means to make an impression. For example, she was giving a speech at work the other day. Her confident presentation made a lasting impression on the managers. Or John had a job interview yesterday. He made a good impression with his thoughtful answers. When you meet someone for the first time, your impression is very important. Try to make a good first impression. Next one is make ends meet. Make ends meet. Make ends meet. Imagine you're in a challenging financial situation. You need to make ends meet. It means you need to earn enough money to cover basic expenses. For example, I work really hard to make ends meet every month. Or after the unexpected medical bills, they are struggling to make ends meet. Let's delve into the next collocation. It's take into account. Take into account. Take into account. Imagine you're planning a project. You have to take all factors into account. It means you have to consider all the factors. To consider or include something when making a decision means to take it into account. For example, it's important to take the local regulations into account before starting constructions. Or if you are designing a new product, it's necessary to take your customers' feedback into account. Upcoming collocation is take for granted. Take for granted. Take for granted. Is there something you appreciate daily? If yes, you shouldn't take it for granted. To not value or appreciate something properly, often until it's gone, means to take that thing for granted. For example, he took his health for granted until he fell ill. It means he didn't understand the value of being healthy until he became ill. Or don't take your friend's support for granted. Appreciate it. Your friend's support is really important. You should value it. You should appreciate it. Next is have an impact. Have an impact. Have an impact. To have a strong effect or influence means to have an impact. For example, his speech had a huge impact on the audience. Or the new policy of the government had a significant impact on business operations. Are you taking notes? Let's continue with the next collocation. Have second thoughts. Have second thoughts. Have second thoughts. Imagine making a decision about something. After that, you might have second thoughts. It means to reconsider a decision or an opinion. For example, after signing the contract, she had second thoughts about the terms. Or he had second thoughts about moving abroad after considering all the difficulties and challenges. Next collocation is do away with. Do away with. Do away with. To eliminate something means to do away with it. For example, the company decided to do away with paper forms and switch to digital processes. Clever idea. Perfect to help the environment. Or let's say it's time to do away with traditional teaching styles and embrace innovations. Next great collocation is get the hang of. Get the hang of. Get the hang of. To become familiar or skilled at something means to get the hang of it. For example, after a few lessons, she got the hang of playing the guitar. Or he started using a new software. He struggled at first, but eventually he got the hang of it. Next collocation you need to know is get on someone's nerve. Get on someone's nerve. Get on someone's nerve. It means to irritate or annoy someone. For example, tapping continuously on the table can get on my nerves during meetings. Or try not to do anything that will get on your colleagues' nerves. Next beautiful collocation is call the shots. Call the shots. Call the shots. It means to make decisions or have control over a situation. If you're leading a project, you're the one who calls the shot. Or if you enjoy calling the shots, you need to start your own business. Are you ready to learn the next collocation? Write it down. Cut corners. Cut corners. Cut corners. Think about efficiency at work. Then avoid cutting corners. To do something in the easiest and cheapest way, often sacrificing quality, means to cut corners. For example, they finished the project very quickly but cut corners on testing. That's why they faced serious problems later. Or my boss refuses to cut corners when it comes to customer service. Coming up next is draw a conclusion. Draw a conclusion. Draw a conclusion. Imagine you're analyzing some data. Your final step is to draw a conclusion. It means to come to a decision or an opinion based on the evidence or reasons. For example, my manager drew a conclusion that the new strategy would lead to higher sales. Or after reviewing all the evidence, she finally drew a conclusion. Further research was needed. Another advanced collocation is to face the music. Face the music. Face the music. It means to accept the unpleasant consequences of one's action. For example, if you make a mistake at work, you have to face the music. You have to accept its consequences. If you make a mistake, the best decision is to face the music and apologize for it. Do you know how to apologize in English? Watch this video. And next collocation is keep in touch. Keep in touch. Keep in touch. It means to maintain communication or contact with someone. For example, my friends and I promised to keep in touch after graduating from college. Or she tries to keep in touch with her old friends despite her busy schedule. The next collocation I have for you is pick someone's brain. Pick someone's brain. Pick someone's brain. If you're seeking advice, you need to pick someone's brain. It means to ask someone for their ideas or opinions about something. For example, she picked her friend's brain about the best way to improve her English. Or I always pick my mom's brain before making a decision. Next collocation waiting for you is strike a balance. Strike a balance. Strike a balance. Imagine you're managing your work and your personal life. Your goal is to strike a balance. It means to find a satisfactory compromise between different demands or aspects of life. For example, she strikes a perfect balance between her career and her family. If you want to stay healthy, you need to strike the right balance between work and relaxation. Up next is take the lead. Take the lead. Take the lead, which means to assume control or responsibility for something. For example, she took the lead in organizing the event. If you're guiding a team, your role is to take the lead, to be responsible for the team. And today's final collocation is turn a blind eye. Turn a blind eye. Turn a blind eye. It means to ignore or pretend not to notice something, especially if it is morally or legally wrong. For example, the manager turns a blind eye to the employee's late arrivals because he valued her contributions more. Good manager. Or I decided to turn a blind eye to my neighbor's noisy parties. And that's all for today. Oh, it was a deep dive, wasn't it? You know what to do now. Practice, practice, and practice. Because that's what pushes you toward English fluency. Feel free to share your thoughts with me below. Like this video, share it with your friends. See you!